Time for another anniversary video game video. Thankfully it's not Mario this time, it's Kingdom Hearts, which I've only mentioned a little, but it's finally time. The first game turned 20 years old this year. Yes, I know the month was earlier, but I'm putting up the day of the US release date. In honor of its anniversary, I'm going to do a review of the game, and after the story I will talk about my introduction to Kingdom Hearts. Let's begin with the story. On an island, there's three children, Sora, Kairi, and Riku. Sora and Kairi seem to form a strong friendship, and Riku is angsty and likes showing off. One day, an evil force named Ansem arrives, who tempts Riku to join his army of darkness, because he can get off the island and show him the world. Teen angst, I guess? But let's keep going. Kairi is taken and Sora chases after her, and then suddenly Donald and Goofy are in the story. And the reason why is because the two are searching for King Mickey, who disappeared at the same time as Kairi disappeared. The three join forces and hop from planet to planet, and they have different Disney World, and they discover more and more on Ansem's evil plan. Along the way, you have to fight creatures called the Heartless, a bunch of Disney villains, your best friend who monologues between good and evil, and save Kairi, who may or may not still be in this world. Before I get to my review of the game, I want to talk about my introduction to Kingdom Hearts. In 2002, I saw a commercial of Kingdom Hearts, and I thought it looked cool. Disney characters interacting with humans, which as a kid I never played the Final Fantasy games, but I wanted to try it out, until I realized that the game is only on PS2, not GameCube or Xbox. As years went on, I never played it, neither the series. Thankfully, James did an Ingevogener video on Chronologically Confused of Kingdom Hearts in 2019, and by the beginning of 2021, Doug would do a game on Twitch as part of Disneycember. Thanks to me, I bought a PS4, got Kingdom Hearts Story So Far collection, along with 2 PS4 games, and I was ready to play it. So, what do I think of the game? It's pretty good. Very good, actually. However, it's not my favorite in the series. The story and characters in this game is perfectly vague. It's not clear to how or why everything is going on. It's just Final Fantasy characters with Disney characters interacting, saving people, fighting foes, talks of heart, light, and darkness. And to me, I'm fine with that. I just want to know the whole game's story. And I do like the characters. Oh, not just the Disney characters we know, but the characters in Kingdom Hearts, like Sora, Kairi, Riku, and other Final Fantasy characters. Now let's get to the graphics. It looks gorgeous. Keep in mind, the graphics are not PS2. I have a PS4 version of the first game, or 1.5 as it's called, but the graphics in that version looks really good. I know the graphics changed a lot in the later series, but still looks polished. Yes, there's so many games that get remade or remastered, but I can understand Kingdom Hearts needed that. The music in the game is fantastic, with Disney music and original orchestrated music. The voice acting in the game is pitch perfect. Haley Joel Osment voices the main character Sora, and he sounds great. We all know Haley is a good child actor before, like Sixth Sense and AI, but for the voice of a game, that's a good step up. You got other voice acting playing Final Fantasy characters. Not only that, but some of the voice actor playing Disney characters, and man, they were on their A game. While some didn't voice the originals, they were good replacement, and some in their original voices, like Catherine Beaumont voicing Alice and Wendy, like, hello? She sounds great! Now to the worlds. They're very good to explore around. There's only 9 Disney worlds and 4 regular worlds, 2 in the beginning, 2 in the ending. The Disney worlds do look cool in terms of world building, like the jungle in Tarzan or Halloween Town in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Such nice details to the Disney worlds. Now to the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty good. I guess you could say this is my first time playing a JRPG. I mean, I play regular RPG like Pokemon and the Mario spin-off RPG games, but not like this. But hey, I like fighting enemies in the game, though I dare say a little too much since they keep popping up, and that's great because you have to level up your characters. A little positive about the game are the controls. It is smooth, but it's not great, but we'll get to that. So now let's get to the criticisms of the game. And I still stand by this is a really good game, but there are some problems. The replay value is okay. I know you have to go back and forth with the levels, and I get that. Maybe because I don't like going back to the game I didn't beat, and I have to do the level all over again. Still, it's a pet peeve. Now, the controls I actually want to talk about. Well, it is smooth. It has some problems like aiming target at the enemies or the camera angles, and sometimes it does get on my nerves, but at least the control works fine. The platforming is a pain. Yes, another game where the platforming is the problem, but not the gameplay. Most of the time I try to land on some areas that I couldn't get there. Thankfully, not all the platforming is bad, but it is frustrating. Plus, the tree in Winnie the Pooh stage is a pain to jump. Now, the game is frustrating, right? And yeah, it is. That's not the worst part. I went with medium difficulty. I didn't want to go with easy or hard because I want to play the series for the first time. But man, I have died so many times in this game. This is actually one of the hardest games I played in a while. I'm glad I didn't play this game as a kid, where I would have got frustrated. Unlike Super Mario Sunshine, where I did play the game at a young age, and that game didn't frustrate as much as Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, the difficulty is a pain, and I could have went with easy, but still, medium is where it's at. Also, I had a level grind. Yeah, that was a pain to do, but thankfully I went above level 70 to get to the final boss. So now let's get to the ending. Oh boy. While level grinding, difficulty, and platforming were minor criticisms, the ending is a criticism, and it feels like it never ends. What do I mean by that? Okay, you have to fight Maleficent as a dragon, then you have to fight your friend Riku, then you have to go back and go through the last level, and then another last level, fight the little creatures, fight the Chernobog boss, then fight more little creatures, and then you fight the final boss, which makes it 7 parts to fight him. Ugh. You see, the ending is very chaotic and kept going. But thankfully I'm so glad I beat the final boss. I mean, he is tough, but he's not that tough. So I know I was playing Zelda Skyward Sword during the summer, and that final boss was tough too, which more tougher than Ansem. So yeah, the ending took forever, but at least it felt earned for me. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a very good game. I'm glad I did a review of the first game in honor of its anniversary. And it was great that I got it on PS4 with update and playing the series for the first time. Thankfully, the game is not Sony exclusive. You can play it on Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch. I had a good time with this game, and I will do a review on the other Kingdom Hearts games, but it'll be a while to play them all. That is all for the Kingdom Hearts review. Happy 20th anniversary. If you haven't played it, you might check this game out if you're not into RPG games. I'll see you in the next video, which will come up after. Later.